You're not young, but we're still interested in your story.
Touch wood, not very tapping the table.
That's good.
It's all right.
I'll let you off on that one, yeah.
Sorry.
What else you got?
I was just going to say the difference between getting electrocuted as a domestic or an industrial.
Life and death.
Yeah.
Very much.
Quit after 3 days.
Right.
Traumatising.
So, episode 19, wasn't it?
Yeah.
When does season 2 end? Is it never going to end?
Got one more.
Ginger Mason, she's the last one.
Is she?
Last one.
I wonder why.
Seasons don't matter because we don't pause anyway.
I wonder why, Jack. Saving the best till last, are you?
He was flirting. Oh, you went to the same university as me, didn't you? Uni friends. Uni friends.
It was like a masterclass in flirting, wasn't it?
Oh, it was. Is such and such still the teacher there? Oh, yeah, he is. Oh.
If you come back after the show, I'll show you my tripod.
Bless him.
Oh, Jack.
We've got 2 great guests on, and we're going to start with you, Darren,
Yep.
Mr. DJH Electrical.
Yes.
You're not young, but we're still interested in your story.
I'm only 32. No, I'm not. I'm 44.
I'm only 26. Yeah. But yeah, basically, we get people on from all different types of backgrounds, and yes, we've got 2 sparkies on tonight, but I'm sure the difference in the story is going to be, differences between how you guys do what you do and the types of work that you do, whether or not you're domestic, commercial, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So just take us back and give us like a brief outline about how you started, how you got into the trade, and the types of things that has led you to where you are now.
Yeah, sure. So I left school really qualified, like I got 10 GCSEs and didn't listen to anyone about taking further education and just sort of rebelled a little bit. I lost my dad really young, so I didn't really have a father figure, so I was a little bit like, my mum was there, but I just, everything she said, I'd done the opposite.
Yeah.
So she said to me when I left school, be a plumber, be an electrician. I was like, nope. So I went to college and done painting and decorating for 2 years and hated it. Like and it was almost just like, I'm not doing what you tell me to do, so I'm going to do this. And I stuck it out, and then they stuck me with a firm, and I was on, back then was YT, so I went, I think I earned £25 a day. Yeah. And all I'd done was paint windows, day in, day out. And I was just like, this is ridiculous, I can't do it. And I was only like 18, 19. And then a mate rung out the blue and said, oh, come and work at this car dealership and just deliver parts. And you'll get paid 18 grand a year. So I was like, yep, I'm gone. So I'd done that. So I just didn't have any vision at all. And then I worked there for a while and then just decided it just wasn't for me. And I got a job with a maintenance firm, just going out doing all sorts of maintenance to the point of putting a shelf up or repairing a plug, and then sort of got a bit of a passion, I suppose, for electrics and tried to follow that. But I was still only young, so it was really hard to get anyone to sort of take you on because I'd not gone down the college route straight away. It was difficult to get anyone interested to try and take you on. They didn't want to take you as an apprentice because you didn't have a college place, and you couldn't get a college place easily back then. Yeah. So I went.
Why was that then that you can get?
I don't know. I think it was just harder back then to get it, and I think it was harder to get an apprenticeship, like with someone who wanted to take you on. And I feel it's a bit like that now. I've got 2 guys that work for me who are apprentices, and Ben's been with me nearly 3 years now, and he's brilliant. And I've taken Brandon on, who's done 2 years at college, but I've got to be honest, I took him on. It's like he knows nothing because he's been with a firm that have almost just used him and abused him, and just fix this
go and collect stuff out the van.
Basically just sort of making a massive profit off of new build properties. So he's just first fixing and second fixing and learning nothing about the intricacies of electrics or whatever. So yes, I've done that, and then I left the maintenance firm and went for a building firm, and I worked in Kensington and Chelsea and Fulham for 7 years. So that's where I honed, and then I had to sort of do my college in blocks, not like one of these quick courses, but I had to pay for my own course, and then the building firm helped me out and sort of put a bit towards it, and then I'd done that, and then I stayed in London for 7 years doing that. So I was sort of fully qualified electrician, but earning 130 quid a day, working for someone else.
Living in London.
Yeah, who was worth millions, and working on houses that were worth 35, 40 million plus. And I was just like, this is ridiculous, what am I doing? Yeah. And I had a family to support and stuff like that. So I spoke to a friend one day who ran his own company, and he said, just come and work for me. And I was like, it's not that simple. And he was like, it is. Just come and work for me. I'll pay you the same money. You'll just need to get a vehicle, and I've got plenty of work, and I'll teach you a bit more. Because I back then I didn't really have a lot of experience for fault finding, or because I don't think you do. Is as an apprentice or someone new when you start out, unless you're with someone who's with you all the time, who's willing to show you, you can't fault find. You can't leave college and go, right, I'm going to fault find a circuit, because you don't really know where to start. So that apprenticeship, although you walk away with a qualification, no doubt it's the same with plumbing in a way. Like, you walk away from college and you have an experience level, but unless you've been with someone on site, there's lots you don't know. So I worked with them, and then obviously I worked with that guy for 3 years, and then went out on my own. So like, I've been on my own now for nearly 6 years.
Yeah.
And it's just gone leaps and bounds. Like, I went out on my own and done sort of like about a year and a half to 2 years, and then I really needed someone.
Yeah.
But I've just been constantly fearful, because I've massive anxiety about self-confidence in me. Like, I doubt myself constantly. I write myself off constantly.
Where do you feel that comes from then? Like,
I don't know. I really don't know. It's just internal, and I sort of get up some days and I go, I don't know what I'm doing. I haven't got a clue what I'm doing about running this firm. I just literally don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And then some days I'm like, I've got this. I know what I'm doing. And then I have something knocks you back, and you just go, no, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not too sure about this.
You ever heard of imposter syndrome?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've got a mate who's like my mentor. He's the guy I worked with for 3 years. So he runs a bigger firm. He's got 5 guys that work for him. So I just ring him if I've got a problem. He's like, just take someone else on. I was like, I can't. He's like, you can. Just do it.
So I'll keep it short and I'll keep it sweet. As you can see, got one of these lovely Bisley Workwear t-shirts on here. They're our good friends, our main headline sponsor. And just to show some appreciation for the real good quality workwear that these guys do, they've given us a 15% off discount code. So if you click here, it'll take you straight through. So if you're interested in some decent workwear gear, Bisley's got you covered. The thing is, maybe your experiences of moving to these different businesses, and then not really sort of staying in one place too long, and then the rebelling and not going to college, and having to, maybe that sort of knocked you where you think, am I good enough to know what I'm doing? So when you do get there, you're sitting there thinking like, you know. Yeah,
I mean, don't get me wrong, we get great customer feedback. I've got repeat business. I work for 4 or 5 different builders, and like 75 to 85% of our work is new, like building work. I don't really work for the retail side, like domestic anymore as such. I still do it, but I work for 5 or 6 different builders, so we're constantly influx of work from them, and Ryan as well, obviously. Yeah. So we just, at the moment, we've got 9 projects running, big projects. So we're always on one of those, and even if we have a loose day, we can go, right, we're going to go to Shooters Hill, or we're going to go to Reigate or whatever. So there's always something to sort of pick up on. Yeah. But about 6 months ago, I was getting to the point where I had too much, and I was like, I really need someone else. I was just really sort of fearful of taking someone else on again, like going through that process.
For me, I can't really remember having that problem. My main fear was just somebody being shit. It wasn't ever taking somebody on. No. It was just somebody being fucking shit, and then having to waste your time hiring somebody. Then you got to fire somebody. Then you got to retrain somebody.
And I think that's because I've had Ben for 3 years. So like, he's done his full college course with me. So he's in his last year now. So he's learnt to work my way. And that was my biggest fear of taking someone on, is that someone's going to turn up. Like, I wanted someone with a little bit more experience, or someone who was already 2 or 3 years into their apprenticeship. And I thought they're going to turn up and they're just going to be like, no, don't do it that way. I want to do it this way. Well, I'm not like that. I'm a bit controlish. So I'm like, no, we need to do it my way, because that's the way that if you get called back, or Ben gets called back, or I get called back,
then you know what's
going on. We know it's exactly the same. We all do it the same way. So we know where to start with a problem. And I took Brandon on 4 months ago, and it's been a bit sketchy. His first couple of months were like, it wasn't too sure about where he fitted in. I wasn't too sure if he fitted in, but sort of the last 4 or 5 weeks, he's really turned a corner, and it makes me realise that I needed to do it. I couldn't not do it. So I would say probably for the last 3 weeks, I've been trying to get away from the tools a little bit. That's not my intention, but to sort of stand the guys out on their own, because Ben's got the experience level now to watch Brandon and sort of go, right, you're on this first fixed job for 3 days now. I'm going to step away. This is your plan. This is what you need to get on with.
I mean,
I don't want to unlock a new fear for you, but
I'm going to.
One of the number one questions I get from guys who are like Ben, just about to qualify. Yeah. I want to go self-employed now. Have you got any worries about him?
I don't think so. Ben's from good stock. So I know Ben's dad's through the trades. So Ben's dad's a chippy, and he's like super loyal, and Ben's super loyal. And I think Ben knows confidence-wise that he's not really ready to break that. He's not really ready to go off and go, right, I'm going to go and be an electrician once he's qualified. Yeah. But I've said to him all along, if that's what you want to do, that's fine. I'll support you 100%. Yeah.
Would that stop you from bringing somebody else in?
No, I don't think so.
It puts a lot of guys off though, but...
Yeah, 100%. I don't think I've wasted... Like, some people have said to me, like, oh, that's a waste of money. You've wasted your money. If they go somewhere else, you've wasted your money. I was like, well, how have I? Like, at a point with apprentices, they're on, like, 60 quid a day roughly, and I have to employ them and pay their holiday, which is whatever it is, circa, you know, say £2,000 or whatever for the year. But at the same time, the amount of value I've had out of Ben, and I think when I was fearful about taking the first person on, which was Ben, my friend said to me, like, the guy I speak to all the time, was like, you won't have to, and it wasn't like, he didn't mean it in a derogatory way. He was like, you won't load your van, you won't unload your van, you won't sweep up, you won't waste an hour a day putting all your tools back in the van.
You don't sweep up,
No, oh, such a cliche. I hate that cliche.
He sweeps up with these 50,
like,
You got to get him in there every opportunity.
But that's the difference. So, like, I'm old school because I work for the building firm. So my guys will sweep up. My guys will tidy up. I won't walk away from a job like that.
He was only joking.
Oh, no. So you'd be surprised, like I was saying about Instagram earlier. Like you get, like, as soon as you see a broom in one of my pictures, someone like, oh, Sparks don't know a broom. You haven't got a clue. You're like,
it's always a plumber though, thinking it, isn't it?
Or you spark. All the sparks I know don't sweep up. So I always send a generic message back that says they're not proper sparks then, because in my opinion they're not. If you don't sweep up, then you're not a sparks because you've not learnt from the bottom, as it were, to get to where they are. Like, I know my boys would never walk away from a job and leave a mess or rubble or anything, even if it's a building site. I'll still say at the end of the day, right, let's get it all bagged up and let's get out, because it's a reflection on us as a company. Oh, look, these lads tidy up after them, so I've never seen that before.
So, as you know, myself and Pete, we always want to try and give back to the people that watch and listen to the show. So we've done you an absolute solid. We've got loads of discounts from top name brands all across the internet. So if you want to save some money on tools, software, tool bags, accessories, then go and check out our discount page, which is just located here. Hopefully there's a saving on there for you, and that's a little bit of a thank you from myself and Pete for supporting the channel. When you're looking for an apprentice, then, because that's one question I don't think I've ever asked anybody. What type of qualities are you looking for in somebody? So anybody that's listening or watching, especially trying to get into the trade, what was the thing that drew you to the people that you've taken on?
I think one of the biggest things is that they're interested. I think there's a generation of younger people, like, obviously I'm old now, I'm 44, I've nearly had it, and I
thought you were 26.
Yeah. But I think there is there's two sets of younger generations. So there's one younger generation that are hungry, they want to learn, they want to go out, they want to get a profession, they want to do whatever. But I think there's the other set that don't want to learn. They just want to take a paycheck. They're not bothered. All they're bothered about
I think that's the same though in some older people as well.
Yeah, potentially.
But I think it just doesn't get highlighted as much because you're sort of, everyone's focused on younger people. But
there's a few things that are massively important to me. One, they turn up on time. One, they're in every day unless they're at death's door and they've got to go to the hospital. Yeah. And one, that they're interested. What do I do next? I've finished doing that. What do I do next? Like, can you show me how to do this? I'm not too sure. And I say the same to the guys over and over again. Like, I'm really hard-nosed. I'm probably not the nicest of bosses, but once I've taught them to a point and I know they know something well enough,
just leave them.
If they come to me and say, "Oh, this doesn't work," I'll say, "Well, work it out then. You've second fixed it. You know what the problem is. You don't need my help." And they sort of go, "Oh," but then they go off and solve it. Like, if you come unstuck, come and get me. But I don't think you need me. I think you can solve the problem. And 99% of the time they solve the problem and go, "Oh yeah, I fixed it. It was this." So you didn't need me then, did you? Yeah. No, you didn't. And I say the same as well. If they've ever got a question, don't ever stop asking me questions. Like, I learn every day. We all do. We never stop learning. So to me, it's like, don't ever be afraid to ask me the same question 20 times. I will decide when you've asked me that question enough. Yeah. For me to say, you've asked that question enough. You should
six times in 2 minutes.
Yeah. You should know by now.
That's me, guys.
Let me see if I can remember this right. You know when you're doing a fuse spur?
Yes.
You've got supply and load?
Yes.
Now, I know how to do it because I've done, like, electric showers, boilers, whatever.
Yeah.
I can never remember the way to go around until someone said to me, shoot your load.
I never heard the expression.
Because that's it going out. So the supply's coming
Thanks
in.
Thanks for that, Pete.
But something as simple as that, I will always have to think of that to remember it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's weird. Some things you can take in, but some things...
If anybody watching this sees Pete at a fuse spur...
Just go like Spider-Man. I always do the little Spider-Man action, shoot your load.
Do you know what? If you're working with Marcus or somebody, the next few weeks they'll be like, "Oh, God, he's just there at the thing saying, shoot your load."
But it works, and they do learn. You know, they've learned. Like, we finished off a job yesterday, and like, I'm one of these people that if I switch something on and it trips for any such reason, my brain goes to the worst case scenario. Like, we turned a new fuse board on yesterday, and we turned all the breakers on, and one of them tripped straight away. So at 2 o'clock, I'm like, someone's drilled through a cable. This is like, oh my God, this is gone. The world's going to blow up. Like, my mind just goes to the negative. And Ben went, it's probably one of the few spurs. And I was like, really? He's like, yeah, pretty will be. Don't worry about it. Like, we'll sort it out. Because he'd see I was getting a bit stressed, and he took a few spurs off, and he just crimped a neutral enough as he'd like closed the face plate back. I was like, oh, cool. I've obviously done my job.
To be fair, I spoke with Winnie Designs earlier over in the US, and one thing he said was, a lot of people don't see the benefit of having an apprentice or somebody like that, but just that situation, because I'm probably the same as you, is I'd like lose my shit or something. I'd be walking around the house like bashing everything that I've just done, thinking like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
Whereas actually having somebody there that, you know,
yeah, I mean,
he's calmed you down, and then
he's got to that point. I would say 2 years ago, he'd look at me like, he's mental. What is he doing? Like, I'm just going to ignore him. But now he's like, oh, I'll take all these off. So he took all the few spurs off and then put one back on at a time. And he went to put the last one, because he couldn't see anything visibly. Put it back on. As soon as he put it back on, he tripped. So he then pulled it off, pulled all the cores out.
Yeah.
He was like, I've just nicked one as I've pushed it back. I was like, cool, we've sorted the problem.
Yeah.
I think that's really. I was talking to someone the other day about being self-employed and working on your own, and that's one of the best things about working with someone else.
Yeah.
When you're on a job, like for me, like fitting a boiler, let's say I've got to fit the boiler downstairs, I've got to take the tanks out of the roof. While I'm doing the boiler pipe work, your mate can be up taking, and something else is happening while you're working, and it just gives you a better feel, a bit more confidence. And like you said, when something goes wrong, you're not there on your own trying to fix it on your own. You got help. Yeah,
that's it. And I mean, I don't get like, obviously I've only got a small following compared to Beth's. Like, mine's tiny in comparison, but I've spoke to so many people. That's what I enjoy of Instagram, is that I've got guys that have got less followers than me who are like, oh, I like your content, I wish I could post it, whatever. Yeah. But you also get questions like, oh, what would you do about this, or what would you do about that? And I think as a community, that's what I like about Instagram, is it's like, oh, look, we've seen you do this, like, where did you get the product, whatever. Yeah. And I think that's with guys and their experience levels as well, that they learn from that and see you do something a certain way, and then they're like, oh my God, I've never thought of that before.
Yeah, because like, everyone's different, and you can learn off other people. And the number one thing I see electricians do on Twitter is you do an EICR, and then they'll say, I found this, how would you classify it? Yeah, and they're all asking, and they've all got different answers. The
problem being is the regs are set out for us and they are tight, but the NIC don't help themselves with like regs like where practicable. Like, and it's not even a word; it's just been invented. So
we have the same with gas safe. So you've got to use your judgment on the day, because you're the guy there on the day.
Exactly.
And it could be different the next day, or it could be different for a different engineer looking at it.
Yeah.
You could see two different things, but you just got to use your...
Yeah, and that's the problem I find with Instagram a little bit, is you'll post something and then someone will be like, oh, that's wrong. Yeah. And you're a bit like, well, it's not. It's the right if you just check the regs. Yeah. And I was saying to Alex earlier, like, Ryan posted something just a few weeks ago about, like, he just, like, your screen on your phone's tiny. Like, most people watch Instagram on their phone, so... Like, my eyes are useless. I can't see like fine details. Yeah. And he just panned around the room, and like this guy tried to out me on Insta, like behind my back, like, oh, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know what a zone is. Blah 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 blah. And then he messaged Ryan directly and said, "Get another sparks. This guy's useless." So Ryan like politely sent him a nice message back, telling him to go full for multiplier. And then this guy said, "I'll check with any sparks. I'm not talking nonsense." And I was with him when he sent the message. I said, "Send him a message back telling him how deep the cables are in the wall, because then that negates one of the other regs." So he was like, message it back. And then this guy come back and said, oh, is that his excuse to do a shit job then? So like, he's not saying I'm right or wrong, but he still wants to have a poke. Yeah. And that's the only part of Insta that annoys me a little bit, just with...
It also depends on how they ask it, because there's a lot of one-upmanship, like big dick contests. They're just looking for you to trip up so they can say something to make themselves feel better.
Yeah.
But if they do send you a message saying, the way you've done that, and they sort of ask it as a question,
100%.
I'm happy to entertain that, and I'll talk them through it, or I'll send them a little video and say, oh yeah, well, the bit you didn't see is...
Yeah, like, I messaged him directly and said, look, why didn't you just message me? Yeah. Like, I'm not an ogre. Just message me and say, oh, look, I'm a bit confused, mate. I've been in the trade 35 years longer than you. I'm just confused how did you run that? And I would have answered it and gone, look, this is what it... And I think that's the trouble sometimes with... That puts people off posting. Like, I don't post massively. I post quite a bit. But some days, like, if you have that negative coming, you go, I can't bother to post today. What is the point? Like, in showing nice work, like, they're not into it, if you see what I mean. They just see... the nice lights. And I think that's the difficulty as an electrician posting. Like, when you see a bank of copper work, like, I follow a few plumbers on, and you see, like, it's amazing to look at, like a big bank of copper work going across the wall. No one wants to see cables in the floor. It's boring, like grey cables running through joists. Like, they're straight. Like, it's amazing.
I quite like when you do a fuse box and all the wires go.
Yeah, that's that one-off picture.
Yeah,
or the one.
But that's like our straight pipes. Like,
yeah.
It's not very often you get to do straight pipes.
He's been looking at too much Tony Dumble. That's the problem. Once you see Tony's pipe work, you're like, oh, look at that.
But it is a bit like that. So posting electrically, it's difficult because I never want to post and show people how to do stuff.
Yeah.
It's something Ryan tried to like.
I think it's a small minority of people that are like that. And the majority of Instagram is normally positive stuff. I don't know, it might be different for you because you're female. Some guys feel the need to like try and put you down, but we'll talk to you about that in a minute. But what would you say? It's like 5% of your comments is.
Yeah, I'll say so. It's a really small percentage.
Just so we don't put people off, because I think one of the things we try and do is encourage people to make a social media account and start.
And I'm the same. Like, if anyone messages me and says, "Oh, mate, I follow you, and I can't believe you're on the camera every day," but I'm like, just do it. Yeah. Don't worry about what anyone says. And I'm not bothered by what people say, but some days it does make you go a bit like. Oh,
another thing people say to me when I say to them, "Do it," is like, "Oh, no one's going to want to see that," but people do, and they'll even like when I do YouTube, like fixing
people
the
watch
toilet.
the weirdest shit though.
I got bored. I just said like, I'm not going to put toilets on the wall because I've shown you what I do to fix toilet probably 10 times, and people are like, no, I want to see it. So people do get something from even what you would consider, if you're doing something all day every day, you might think that's boring, but they might never do that.
It blows my mind. I don't post enough really, but I put a reel up a little while ago of me chasing a wall with a laser with music, like me talking over the top. This is how we chase. And I got one negative comment, which was, I don't know what's more annoying, the fact that you're making out like chasing is a difficult job, or the fact that you say chase so many times in the video. Yeah. So I was like,
but if you've never chased a wall before, that's an invaluable video for someone.
And he went, and I said, oh, well, if you've got nothing nice to say, mate, don't bother. Like, it's cool. Like, if that's your opinion. Yeah. And he sent me a message back saying, I can't watch it. I can't stop watching it. It's like ripping a Band-Aid off. And I was like, well, I've obviously done my job because you keep watching it. Yeah. And that video got 197,000 views. Wow. And I was blown away. I was like, what? Like it's a video of me chasing.
How many times did you say the word chase?
Oh, when I watch it back now, it's
if
like
anybody's
22.
watching it, go and count. Chase.
It is like that. This is how we do a straight chase. And we put laser up because the chase needs to be straight. Sometimes chases wobble a bit. And after the guy said it, I was like, he's so right. I'll say it so many times.
It's like Glister saying the word like.
It's like David Beckham.
So another one of our sponsors is a company called Snap It. As you know on this show, time is money, and we always want to try and help you guys save time and money. They developed this system and an app where you can actually order plumbing parts anywhere within the London area and have them delivered to you. So Snap It, fantastic company, great app. If you order something, they will go and collect it and they will deliver it to you. They will do all the legwork for you and deliver it direct to your door. So you've got your own business.
Yes.
How long has your own business been going? Was it
6 years now, like nearly 7 years.
6 years. Like one thing that I don't tend to ask enough on here is when people have their own business or self-employed or they employ a few other people. What's one bit of advice 6 years on that you would say, damn, I wish I'd have known that when I started, that you could potentially help somebody else that's sitting in the same position as you now thinking, well, God, I've got to hire somebody.
Yeah.
I'm out on my own, or...
I would say don't be frightened of hiring someone, definitely. Like I learnt my lesson probably too late, taking Ben on later than I should have done. And I'd also say don't be frightened to say take as much work as you can physically cope with. Like not so much like that you can't... I never let customers down ever, so I'll never take anything if I think I'm going to let that person down. I'm going to say yeah and then not turn up because I'm not that type of guy. I always want to be reliable, but at the same time, I think in the early days I wish I'd taken like more, even though I was flat out when I first started on my own. I wish I'd taken more on to sort of push myself a bit more and grow like a bigger network quicker.
Do you think if you'd have taken more on though, you would have grown quicker, or it might have backfired on you because you think, oh, I've bitten off more than I can
No, I don't think it would have backfired. I think it would have driven me a bit more. And I think because I'd come from earning, like when you go out and you're like my experience of going out on my own, like completely on my own was like, God, I've never earned so much money. And that was the first experience. Like after the first couple of weeks of having jobs booked in, I was getting to the end of the week and going, Jesus, like I've earned £1,000 this week. Like I've never earned that much. Like, and it's in my pocket, like after taxes and stuff. And I was just like, and I think that first probably 6 months, I was just like super comfortable because I was just like, I've never had so much money. I'm just going to go and play golf this afternoon. And it was like, oh,
there's beers for everybody.
Yeah, it was a little bit like that. Although I had a family and stuff like that, it was a little bit like, oh, do you know what? And I'd get a call from me like, do you want to play golf this afternoon? Like, yeah, no worries. I'll tell the customer I've got to go and get some bits and I'll be back tomorrow sort of thing because I'd be booked there for 3 or 4 days. So you sort of do that. And then now I'm a bit like, no, I haven't got time. Sorry, I'll play you like 5 o'clock tonight or whatever. Yeah. So, but I think I wish I'd taken more on and grown quicker because I think I could have done. And I think I missed the boat on some stuff a little bit where I waited to take Ben on and then I took Ben on and then I waited to take Brandon on. But now I've got the guys, I want to drive it a bit harder.
Yeah.
To get,
Because your sort of analogy there is like, again, I'll revert back to Winnie. So Winnie started his own business, and by I think 23, by 26 it had gone, like it failed.
Yeah.
And he said he was trying to add too many people to the business, basically to be a bit of a dick swinger.
Yeah.
And say, look, you know, I've got 9 guys working for me. And then eventually it failed. And he says the one thing that I did was I tried to grow too quick.
Yeah.
So listening to what you've just said, like actually a bit of caution sometimes, just for those people that are probably like me, where they're like, yeah, let's go and hire 50 people. It's probably done you. You better to be.
I would say drive yourself. That's really what I meant by. I wouldn't say like go and get loads of staff straight away. I'd say drive it to the point where you're like at breaking point of taking that work that week, where you go, I don't know, I'm going to get to that 3rd job this afternoon, but I'm going to make it happen. Then when you're at that point, then you can comfortably take someone on. I felt like when I took Ben on, there was enough work for us, but then like a Thursday afternoon, we get to 2 o'clock and I'd be like, I've got nothing left to do. Like, what do we do now? But then you realise you've got to pay somebody, so it's a bit like, I can't go home. Well, let's tidy the van up. Let's do something at my house or whatever. That was the beginning of it. Because I was like, I had the work, but it probably wasn't enough for 2 people. And you realise how quickly just having an apprentice for so little that comes out of the company's money, if you like, how much you achieve. Like I've got like any tradesman's got so many tools, and you'll go in to change, like you're going to change a pipe, and you end up with like a bag, a torch, this, that. Then you end up with a pair of steps, then something else, and you get to the end of the day and you go, I've got like half the van off. And I've now got to spend 50 minutes like putting it all back exactly where it goes. Whereas Ben, I'm not saying
I just fucking shook it in. Kick the door shut.
The back of Pete's van.
I worry about that on Sunday morning.
I'm super anal. Like my weekends are my weekends. I don't be sorting the van out the weekends.
I'm a nightmare.
So everything has a place.
I'm sitting in the back of your van.
Bought smart van racking. Literally, everything has to go in its place, and I never put anything back. Every time I open my side door, something falls out. I just get stressed. That's like Monday afternoon. That's happening.
No, everything's got a place. I built all my racking myself, but the boys know where everything goes now, like through there, me teaching them. So, like, I know when I go to the van on my own, I know where it is.
He's got all the racking, he don't even know where anything is.
The weird thing about me is if I'm working with someone else like Ben or Marcus and there's something out of their van, I'll put it back. If it's my van, it just gets thrown in. I don't know why I'm like that.
No, it's good. But yeah, no, it works. Like we're doing well. Like I'm pleased where we're at. We've got more work.
When did you get into the social media then?
Only about a year and a half ago. So like about a year and a half ago, I started posting, and like I've got like, because of my age bracket, like I've got mates. I've got mates who are like, "What are you doing that for? It's a waste of time." So I'm at a point now, because I have a relationship with SQ2, and that's brought me more coverage on his jobs and stuff like that. I'm now at a point where I'm probably about 60 grand's worth of social media customers, where I've won a rewire and I've won another contract, and then someone got in touch with me a little while ago via Instagram, which is I don't want to mention their name, but they follow Ryan, and they're bigger than Ryan. They're at 120,000 followers, and I'm rewiring one of their first developments that they're doing in Wandsworth. So there's a relationship potential for the future. Their next property is going to be in Cobham. So that's the plan, and that's, I'm not expected to get all my work from Instagram, but I'm getting inquiries. I got an inquiry yesterday about a job that's probably out of our comfort zone. It's like an hour away from us, so that's like quite a travel. Like,
so are you using Instagram to get more work?
I think so, and I think I'm not. What's the word? I'm not doing it on purpose, sort of thing. People are seeing the content. People are seeing Ryan mention me, or other customers mention me, and me put videos up every day, and people are like, "Oh, do you know what? I've got this house that needs rework. Could you give me a cost?"
And what about manufacturing? Have you had any like dodgy torch salesmen try and get you to promote their products?
No, they haven't. No one's approached me. Not really. But I'm only I'm just shy of 5,000. So to me, like,
I'll just give you a nice stash. There you go.
I know. No interest really comes, in my opinion, until you're like past 5,000. Then you might get a sniff from someone.
But then again, if you're doing a job for an account of 120, you would hope that if they put your work on their page,
they don't mention me enough, to be honest. But I'm like, you need to mention me a bit more, because
Ryan Boucher, mention him some more.
No, Ryan's fine. Mara mentions me all the time, but then, but it's been nice being on Instagram, like meeting Ryan, meeting Leggy the plumber, meeting like other guys that I probably never would have got the opportunity to meet. And it's not like a stardom thing. I'm not like, oh, it's Leggy, but do you know what I mean? It's like, there's another guy on Instagram, and like I've watched his content before I've met him, sort of thing. So that's good. I enjoy it. I enjoy Instagram, but
awesome.
I think it's finding time to do it as well. Like some days I go, right, I'm going to post loads today, and then about 4 o'clock, I'll do a walkthrough video. This is what we've done today because I didn't have any time.
Do you find that you're comfortable doing the editing and the voiceovers, or
Yeah, to a degree. Like mine's pretty much straight off the phone and straight onto Instagram. I don't really do much editing as such. It's like literally, I don't video the guys much because they're super nervous about being on the camera all the time. But it's usually me. 90% of the time, it's my ugly mug in the van talking and moaning about life.
Yeah.
No,
But that's good because it's content people relate to. Everyone likes, especially a moan.
a van rant.
Yeah, something I set out to do when I started Insta was, if you followed me or anyone that knows me out there has followed me, knows that if I'm having a shit day, you're going to know about it. And if I'm having a shit week and I'm having a bit of a bad week from an anxiety point of view, you're going to know about it, because I want to be completely transparent. I don't want to be like, oh, it's great being an electrician.
You know what we should
best job in the
do?
world.
Every time we have an electrician on, ask them how many times they've electrocuted themselves, then we'll have a leaderboard.
Lots. Couldn't even keep count. You're supposed to go to the hospital every time you get an electric shock, but I've never been once.
I got a really, I got a double one the other, probably about 2 years ago now.
Because you didn't shoot your load first, but
I didn't isolate electric shower because the house had been empty for like months, and it was like in bits. We was doing a whole central heating system, so I just assumed the power was off this shower.
Yeah.
So I had my, they weren't even VDE.
And cut through it.
These Negisaurus things, and I cut through it, and I was touching the metal, so I got belt. I was like, fuck. Then I thought, oh, that's good content.
Yeah.
So I put the power back on to show us live, and I was like, test it, and I've just electrocuted myself on that. Did my video, and then forgot that I turned it back on.
Done it again.
Did it again on the same thing.
Yeah, it's not nice. It makes you feel like really, it feels
My
like
arm was like vibrating.
if ever you see Pete on your job, fuck him, right?
Yeah,
That's the only thing.
Plumbers shouldn't do touch electrics.
But that's when you regret not having the camera out. Like, so we were on a job on Wednesday or whatever it was, and we had to multi-tool a little bit of plasterboard out, and I got the apprentice to do it. And I went to video and I went, no, I can't be bothered. I won't do it. And he multi-tooled it square out, and as he went through the court, he went straight through a cable that was in the wall where it shouldn't have been. And the back and the look on his face, he was so scared. And I was laughing. Like, are you a bit scared? I was like, do you want to chase the rest of it? He's like, nope. So I ended up doing it. But yeah, it's you should have it out all the time, the camera, I suppose, really.
Come now over to you, Beth, and hopefully you'll be able to tell us a little bit how you got into the trade. Obviously, we heard a bit of a random one, going against the parents, which you tend to do, and then going into like moving car parts and stuff like that. So that's a new one to us on the show. Just give us a brief background then, how you decided you were going to become an electrician.
So I left school
Yeah.
and went to college to do electrical installations because I wanted to fix my hair straighteners. Just feel like I wanted to fix it, like know how to do it. And I was a few weeks into my course, and we was doing like sealing roses and sockets. And I was like, when do we do like circuit boards? I was like, that's electronics. Do you want to change courses? And I was like, no, it's fine, because I was a bit too shy to change.
Yeah.
So I did a year of that, just like level 1, and then got an apprenticeship. Did the apprenticeship, and here I am.
And here you are. So So did you ever fix the hair straighteners firstly?
No, I got a new one.
So for people listening and watching, there's loads of people that always like come through in the comments or DM us saying like, how do I get onto a course, or like, where are these courses? I mean, when you applied for a course, was it easy enough? Because you mentioned that there wasn't really courses available then. Was it easy enough to get yourself on a course? It was no problems with the course. No, I think was it Elise who mentioned that she got a bit of shit on the course as well from a couple of the guys. She was on there.
No,
with
I'm
her.
sure she walked past the building site and some blokes gave her some shit and that put her off.
Yeah.
And she changed her mind. But when you said you got an apprenticeship, did the college help you get that, or were you looking for that outside of college?
No, I applied for it.
Okay.
And got it.
Did it take you ages? Did you have to apply for loads of different companies, or?
I applied for a few, and they was the first ones who got back to me, and then I did the interview with them, and they offered me the job, so I just took it.
What type of work? Are you still with that same?
Yeah,
Same
so
company
I
now?
did my apprenticeship with them, which was like 4 years, and then I left when I qualified, and I've gone back there
Yeah.
because I just really enjoy the work.
Yeah.
Missed it when I left.
What type of work do they get you doing? Is it commercial? It's commercial work, isn't it?
It's industrial.
Industrial.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just talk through, because obviously yours is all
It's all domestic.
base. We've had like
Just let I'd ask quickly because I don't know about this. You know, when you do a college electrician 4 years, is that domestic or does that cover industrial?
It's mainly based for like domestic.
Yeah.
So none of it really was relevant to me. I think they spent like one lesson on motors, and that was it.
So then when you finish college and you're working industrial, do you have to do extra training or is it just on-site experience?
Oh no, because I did college 1 day a week, and I was at work the other 4 days. So
Right.
I was getting all the experience
Okay.
on site.
So is there like an extra qualification to be industrial or commercial?
No,
Okay,
not
cool.
really.
is there in plumbing?
There isn't gas.
Is
So
there?
if you do gas commercial,
Is that more like Glen stuff?
Yeah, bigger pipe sizes, bigger volumes of gas, different like purge volumes is like you have to work it all out on a calculator and stuff. It's a bit more involved, but yeah, we have a different qualification for that.
Yeah. So sort of, you know, you've left college, you've gone and got the apprenticeship, and then you qualify. You said that you left. Was there any reason for you leaving? Did you just fancy a change, and then?
I wanted to try something different.
Yeah. What did you go and do in between there, or?
I tried to do social housing,
Yeah.
and I quit after 3 days.
Right.
Traumatising.
Yeah.
And then I worked in a medical waste factory,
Yeah.
like during COVID. That was quite interesting, but it was boring being at the same place every day.
Yeah.
So then I went
Whereas
back
obviously-
to my other company.
Yeah, because I think from looking at your social, you're always in like different looking environments. Is that something that you actively now prefer doing? Is being in one place one day, somewhere else in another day, so that there's a lot of variation for you? Because how do you stay, you know, like domestic? I know you get different properties and stuff like that,
Yeah.
but you know, I'd find certain roles or certain sort of areas of industry, it can become quite samey with certain things. Is that something where?
No, it doesn't really faze me. I feel like domestic work's always different, like, and you never know really what level of domestic work you're going to be doing. So it might be a full rewire, it might be just being called out for a fault finding job. To be honest, the fault finding jobs are the fun bit, really. Like, it breaks the day up if I get a call and I leave the boys somewhere and I go off to solve something, or if we go together as a 3 and it's difficult to sort of invoice that. But if it works for our day and we go and diagnose a fault finding job like a tripping RCD or something like that, it keeps you sort of infused, I suppose,
Yeah.
for the job. Plus, it's the clients. Like, I've obviously, where we work domestically, I meet different people every day.
Yeah.
So I prefer it. I don't think I'd want to work commercially or industrially. Like, the industrial is amazing, like, to watch, and commercials as well. But it's a hard crossover because, like, if you qualify, like, and then you go out and do domestics, I would work on an industrial site and I wouldn't have a clue where to start. Like, I understand all obviously the phases of electrics and how it works and stuff like that, but if there's something on site that I had to wire up or something, I probably wouldn't have a clue. And I think that works in reverse for guys that have worked, guys or girls that have worked industrially and then tried to move over to domestic. Like, guys message me sometimes and say, I had a guy message me the other day for how to wire a light up in his shed, and he was like, I'm an industrial electrician, I haven't really got a clue where to start. I was like, we'll do this and do that, and he was like, that's what I thought, I just wanted to check.
Yeah. I mean,
So
is it something that you'd ever think about going into domestic?
No,
No.
it's not for me. I've tried it.
Yeah.
I like industrial. I
'Cause
like
I think
the environment.
Do you think you're put off though because you've done social?
Probably.
Yeah,
I
so-
don't like how the cables are buried in the wall. I like them on the
Where they're
tray where I
accessible.
can see them. Yeah.
So, ladies and gents, tradesmen and women, I am trying to help you organise yourself. So we have teamed up with Tradify, which is a software brand that if you are struggling to get organised, to look after your customers and to get everything ready for the jobs that you are going to need, then Tradify is an all-in-one solution. So we've teamed up with those guys. If you click this little link just up here, you get 50% off your first 3-month subscription, and you also can have a 14-day free trial. So
Look
I
at
mean,
that.
I think it was Elise who said that she might go and do some domestic work. I think she said it on her thing, didn't she? At some point, she might try
Yeah.
and do a bit of domestic. I mean, she was talking to us when she was on about doing defibrillators and all that
Yeah.
sort of stuff at the train stations. Just talk us through then the type of the type of job or the jobs that you do, or you really enjoy, the type of work that you do. Obviously, you like to see a nice fresh cable set in a tray above you, rather than channeled in the wall. Talk us through the types of work that you're actually coming up against, so that people listening or watching that might be going into that sort of line of work, you're giving them sort of what a typical day looks like.
See, it's so vast, like what we do. It could be completely different every day. So,
where would you generally go to? Would you go to like what type of businesses do you visit? Do you visit any specific types of businesses or specific places or anything like that?
yeah, so I think the company I work for has a contract with a lot of like asphalt and concrete plants.
Yeah.
So we do visit the same ones.
Yeah.
And some, we get the odd one that's far away.
Yeah.
Pretty much just working on them.
Yeah.
Doing all sorts. We could be in the offices, so it's a bit commercial, or could be out on the plant doing like a big install on a shutdown or maintenance.
Yeah.
Testing.
Yeah.
Loads.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, trying to think, what else you got?
I was just going to say the difference between getting electrocuted as a domestic an industrial.
Life and death.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Nothing left of you if you...
No.
Pete with his pliers.
Is it scary? Because to me it sounds scary working on stuff like electric. That I'm scared of the domestic stuff. So.
Well, it's quite strict
He's like, what a pussy.
where I work, so
I'm scared of water.
you've got to do like all like safe isolation, and
Yeah.
if you're working somewhere where it's not IP2X, like where there's like live bars, you might have to do like you'd have to do a risk assessment. You might have to wear like arc flash PPE or something if you can't isolate it. So as long as you do it by the book, you're not going to get a shock. Like I've touched wood, not sorry for tapping the table.
That's good. That's
all right on
I'll
that.
let you off on that one. Yeah.
Sorry. I haven't
Yeah.
had a shock, but
Good.
when I did work for 3 days in that social housing job, I did get a shock then,
Yeah.
but never during my time doing industrial.
Yeah.
So do you work for big companies? A lot of people work on your
It's not that big, I don't think.
what, like 10 people?
I think they've probably got about 15 electricians out on the
Okay.
jobs.
Are you the only female?
Yeah. When I was an apprentice, though, we did have another girl start, and she did the testing.
Yeah.
She's also on Instagram as well,
Okay.
called Lulu Electrical.
Is she still at the same place as you?
She moved up north
Ah,
and bought
okay.
a house.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was nice having another girl there for a while.
Yeah, yeah. Because that's one thing, obviously, every lady that we've had on, there hasn't been really anybody, apart from you, who's had somebody else to work with that is doing
Yeah, I
doing
think
the
it's
same
great
stuff
that what
as
you girls are doing to sort of promote it to other females, because hopefully then in the future we'll have a bit more balance, because it's a male-dominated trade. But did you ever have any, like, I think I spoke to Els, and like the people you work with, they almost more like a little family, and they sort of look after you while you're learning your trade. Have you ever had any bad experiences, like, because it's male-dominated?
Not really.
No, okay.
No.
That's good to know, because there's like probably 2 or 3 where they've had a bad experience, but then everybody else actually has been fine. So it's sort of restoring my faith in the male species at the moment. to
Yeah,
be
and it
honest.
might encourage people to think, but even guys, like going to college when you're young, at the age when most people would start an apprenticeship, you're young, and it's it's quite intimidating. But
Oh, when you first go out on site and there's a load of big burly blokes or something, and you're a young guy, tartan paint and all the rest of the shit that people toss at you, isn't it?
Long wait,
yeah,
etc., etc.
let me just ask you about your social media. So when did you start doing your social media account?
In like January?
Oh, that this year?
Yeah.
Oh wow, okay. So
Impressive, isn't it?
Yeah.
There you go.
What made you get into that?
Elise did it.
Okay.
So I thought I'd do one too.
Yeah, I think she said the same thing about you. What you just putting your posting your work.
Yeah, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'll just keep posting like random stuff.
Yeah.
People seem to like it.
I
but
don't think anybody does when they first start out. I think you just start it and then it sort of
Yeah, eventually
progressively
you'll
into
find
something.
like something that you enjoy doing or that you're known for, or
I'm known for being a moany getting of
yeah. You get you'll get the guys that are known for like posting pictures of the tool bag with all the tools nice and clean in the bag, or you'll get guys that give tips. Like I do a lot of fault finding tips, a lot of copper, like bending copper pipe and stuff. So people have their own niches.
I mean, the one thing about all the girls that I quite admire is obviously seeing you all go to the tool fairs and stuff like that, because I've been exhibiting at tool fairs for so many years and there's just been no representation with that, or even apprentices. Like the tool fairs saying that apprentices can't go. So actually, I think it's great actually seeing now across social where everybody's like, you know, there's more of everybody, basically. So I think that's a great thing. You got any other questions? Have you got any questions that you'd like to know about industrial?
No, not really. I don't really like it. I see it, but then you just sort of go, I wouldn't touch that. Like for me, it's frightening. I'm like, I wouldn't touch that.
Yeah.
You paid me. But I'll stick my hand in a domestic fuse board and it doesn't really faze me. I don't think, oh my God, I'm going to die.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you have to work live. We're told we shouldn't. We should self-isolate, but I can't walk into like someone's house who, especially now with the environment the way things are, everyone works from home. So like you turn up to fault find in someone's house and they've got an extension lead running their computer. They're on a meeting to New York and they're like, don't turn the power off. And you're like, well, I need to have a look at the sockets that aren't working, but I'll try not to turn your power off. So then I've got no option but to work live because I can't turn their board off. The same as guys who work probably commercially where you've got servers and stuff. There'll be someone walking into your office tomorrow and going, right, we've got to turn everything off. Like all your phones, your internet, everything, because we've got to do this. You'd be like, well, no, you can't do that.
We had that the other day, didn't we? Power cut in it.
Yeah. But like not an intentional power cut as such. You know what I mean?
Well, they all rang me again. We've had a power cut. I was like, well, if you can't work, you can't work. So
you're a good boss. I'd be like, find something else to do.
Well, to be fair, nobody does any work really anyway here, so it's all right.
Here we go.
Start your engine. And the winner is...
So what we do at this part of the show is a bit like a Jerry Springer final thought where you can either dish out some advice.
Jerry Springer fight, we'll just kick shit out of each other.
You can either give some advice, talk about future plans, just
Plug your
shamelessly
channel.
plug the shit out of yourself. You can do whatever. So we'll let you go first then, Daz.
So I'm going to say all tool suppliers ring me, send me free stuff. That's the only reason I'm in this. Power tools, any kind of tools you can send me, I'll happily take. I don't know, plans-wise, I want to try and grow, to be honest. I'd like to be a bit bigger. Potentially the next step is once Brandon's up to a certain level, I'd probably try and get another guy in to work with Ben, and then Brandon sort of be with me again. And then I think the next step is to potentially, which frightens the life out of me, taking someone who's qualified, who I'd have to pay a lot more money. But the plan for me is that then I can leave him to do like smaller stuff or bigger stuff, and I haven't got to worry too much about something, not going right or coming unstuck.
Yeah.
The guys are obviously great. Ben's great, but there's to a level. So I couldn't really send Ben off to do a complete diagnostic job on his own. So it means I always have to step in. So it would be nice to get to a point where I've got enough work that I then
Where you can
feel
get
like
back on the golf course on a Friday.
exactly. It's about, life's too short, isn't it? Like I'm.
It's all Brandon sending free shit so we
Life's
can
too
get on the
short to
golf
play
course.
golf.
No, it's not. It's not. I think I've realised that the older I get, like people, like when you're 30 or when you're in your 20s and someone says to you, "Oh, life's too short," you just
Like
go,
me.
"Shut up! What are you talking about?" Like I'm 25 or whatever, and then you get to 30 and people stay, and you're still a little bit like, "He's talking nonsense." But when you get over 40, you then go, "Jesus Christ! You know what? People
Pete,
are right, man. Life
I
is too
wouldn't know how
short."
that feels, mate.
Me neither.
But I'm a little bit like that now. Like I'm a little bit like I need stuff in my life to enjoy. It can't just all be about work. So like that's the advantage of having the guys now where they're at that level. I do get that call in the afternoon sometimes. Do you fancy a round of golf at 4 o'clock? Yep, no worries. As long as the boys are set up and I know they've got the materials and everything they need to get on, then I might shoot off at 3 o'clock. Because I think life is too short. Like I get to that point where I think I need to do something for myself. It can't just be about work. So I have to go and do that.
Some good advice.
That's the biggest problem I have at the moment as a firm, where the prices have gone up so much.
Yeah.
It's really getting hard to just... So like 5 years ago, I'd make 30% of materials, no problems. Now it's like, I buy a drummer cable. I went and bought a drummer cable yesterday, 50 metres of 6mm cable.
Yeah.
It was £105. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like, and I think I bought some the week before and it was 90-something pounds.
Some guy on Instagram the other day walked out the merchants, he had a reel of solder, a couple of fittings, and it was like 50 quid. He's like, fucking hell.
Yeah. I literally went to Screwfix a few weeks ago and I bought 100 metres of 2.5, so like socket cable for people who don't know. And I bought it on like a Tuesday in Screwfix in Caterham, which is down the road from one of our jobs. And it was 74 quid or something like that. So it stings, but I'm like, yeah, it's gone up me, whatever. Blah, blah, blah. I paid for it. The following day, less than 24 hours later, I went back and bought the same drum of cable at the same Screwfix in the same area. And I had a couple of other bits. And the guy said the total. And I went, I don't think that's right, mate. And he went, yeah, it is. And I said, can you print the receipt off? And the cable had gone up to £80 and 4p. It had gone up by 6 quid
hours.
overnight in 24 hours. So that's the problem I have as a company at the moment. Like the little job where someone says, oh, we wanted to cook a switch and just a cooker circuit put in.
Yeah.
When you
take 5 minutes.
Yeah, but then when you look, yeah, I know. But then when you look at that cost of the 6mm cable, it's trying to justify that job that you would have earned a couple of £100 for 5 years ago, and the cable would have cost you 20 quid. The cable's now costing you £2.8 per metre. So like you then got to, when you're writing your quote out or you're typing it out, you're a bit like, that seems too much. Like
But also with the example you just gave, you could give a quote today.
Yep.
And 2 days, 3 days later, it's out of date.
Like I caveat my estimates for 30 days. That's what it says on it. And I could come completely unstuck with that at the moment, but I don't think you can produce an estimate and caveat it for 2 days because people will be like, what's this joker? Like 2 days? But like I heavily caveat everything to cover me. Like we lift carpets, but we can't guarantee they go back the same way, blah, 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 blah. But I think that's the other thing I'd say is if you're out there and you're new to it, cover yourself. Like at every opportunity you can, cover yourself, because it's so easy for someone to say, well, that wasn't like that before you done that. Whereas if it's caveated and you say, oh, we can do this or we can't do that, and we fill it with bonding plaster but we don't finish it, then they don't say, oh, well, I thought you were going to paint it and fix it. Well, no, I'm an electrician. I'll just fill it sort of thing. So that's what we try and do, cover ourselves. So that's about it.
What about you then, Beth?
Work life, I would like to do a couple more qualifications and do more like engineer stuff.
Yeah.
Socials, no idea. I just post whatever on there.
Yeah.
But occasionally I'll do a post which is like quite educational, and some people really like it. I did one about motors, explaining like different ways to start them. And someone messaged me and said because of my post they got a question right in their exam. So I think I might start doing more of them.
Yeah.
But I don't really have an end goal with it. I didn't really make it for a reason for work. 'Cause I'm not like self-employed. I've got to be employed, so it's not to get work or anything. Also to add, I think tradespeople should take on apprentices.
There you go.
Do that.
Thanks.
You've got two as well. Yeah, there's one thing for me is I think people are either obviously worried because they're thinking, have I got enough work?
Yeah.
But then there's somewhere, I know you'll always be a lone ranger, but I think there's somewhere there's like, they just think, oh, it's a ball ache, or I'm not going to bother.
Yeah.
And actually, how's anybody supposed to come through and actually learn? And
100%. I think the government have made it harder now as well for the youngers, because obviously with some of the guys, you know, like when we were kids, like when I was a kid, although I went against my mum, if you come out of college with no qualifications, it was like, get a trade. That's what you were told to do. Like, you're not smart enough to like go and work in banking, or go and get a trade. And I think that's something that's died out a little bit. But now, because they've changed the whole education system, where you can't get an apprenticeship now unless you've got above C grade maths and English. So it means that if they come out of school with less than a C in maths and English, they can't get an apprenticeship because they have to go on a full-time course. So they have to go to college, I think it's 3 days a week. So an employer, like, and that happened when I tried to take the first apprentice on. I got a guy apply to me, and then I found out that he didn't have maths and English, and he was like, I've got to go to college for 3 days. So I was like, well, the greatest respect, you're useless to me then, because I don't really want someone 2 days. I need someone 4 days, so I can't really give you a look in. And then he's had to go to college for like another year and do his maths and English at college alongside the electrics. But then no one will take that person on because they're not interested in having someone 2 days. They want someone, you know, for 4 days or whatever it is. Whereas if you come out with the maths and English, you're granted access to that, you know, one day a week at college and then 4 days with an employer. And I think that's a bad thing in a way. Like I understand they want to keep people in education, but some kids, like I know that I've got my daughter's probably like, she's great and done great in her exams, but she's not that mindset to go and do further education. She wants to do something different. And I think there's a lot of kids out there that just want to put their hands to something. They don't want to sit in a classroom or So if they haven't got the grades, I think they should still be given the opportunity to do an apprenticeship. Because in my opinion, firms like me, I would take them on. 'Cause as long as they show willing, their intelligence level is irrelevant.
Yeah.
Because they should be able to learn like anyone can learn. So yeah, that's. I think that's hard. I think it's harder for them now, for the guys that come out with no qualifications. I think it's something that should be looked at and they should change it.
Totally agree. Yeah, thank you very much, everybody.
If you like listening to Al talk over all the guests,
No,
if you've enjoyed this episode of Trade Legends, listening to Al talk over everybody else and people banging on the desk, if you've enjoyed listening to and watching today, you fucking gonna just stay still, one space, just for a minute.
if you've enjoyed watching this, blah, 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 blah.
So
Right, 3, 2, 1, go.
So I'll just not do it.
Go.
Yeah, you sure? I'm gonna shut up for just like a minute. If you've enjoyed listening and watching today's Trade Legends podcast, please subscribe to our channel. It will really help us out. We're a new podcast. We want to do big things, and you subscribing, hitting the little bell so you get notifications, would be just great. Thank you.
Hitting the little bell. I was like, yeah, ding, 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 ding.
There is a little bell in there.